Bubble. Imagine you buy a stock for $100. Suddenly, everyone else wants it too. The price starts skyrocketing, not because it's actually worth more, but because people think it'll keep going up. That's a bubble, when the price of something like stocks, houses, or crypto goes way too high, way too fast. Stock split. Imagine you own 10 shares of a company, each worth $1,000, but the company worries that $1,000 per share looks way too high for new investors. So, they decide to do a 2-for-1 split. Now, you own 20 shares, each worth $500. Your total investment is still $10,000. Nothing has changed. Companies do this to make their stock more affordable and attractive. With a lower price, more people can buy in, which can help the stock and your investment grow even faster. Dividend. Imagine you own a stock and the company makes a profit. Instead of keeping all the money, the company decides to share some of it with you. That's a dividend. Dividends are usually paid in cash, and they're typically paid every 3 months. Companies pay dividends to reward investors and make their stock more attractive. For you, it's a way to earn money just for holding the stock, even if the stock price doesn't change. Inflation. Imagine you buy a cup of coffee for $3 today. Next year, that same coffee might cost $3.30. That's inflation. Prices rising over time, which means your money buys less. Why does it happen? Sometimes it's because the government prints more money, so each dollar is worth less. Other times, wages go up or costs rise. If coffee beans or shipping costs go up, your coffee gets more expensive. This is why people invest in stocks or real estate. If your money just sits in your checking account, it's actually losing value over time because of inflation. Hedging. Imagine you own $1,000 of a stock, but you're worried the price might drop. You want to keep your shares, but you also don't want to lose money if the market crashes. This is why billionaires do something called hedging. It's like insurance for your investments. For example, many people buy gold, which often rises when stocks fall, or healthcare stocks, which are more stable during a crash. Billionaires also diversify their investments. Instead of putting all your money in one stock, you spread it across different companies. That way, if one investment drops, the others can help balance it out. Equity. Imagine you buy a house for $300,000 and put down $50,000. That $50,000 is your equity, the part of the house you actually own. Now, let's say the house increases in value to $500,000. Your equity, or your ownership, is now $250,000. This is how many people become millionaires. They invest or buy property, and once their equity grows, they can use it to get loans to buy more properties or stocks. Banks love to see equity. Having it makes it easier to get loans, which makes it easier to invest more. Liquidity. Imagine you have $10,000 in cash in your wallet. That's super liquid because you can spend it immediately. Now, imagine you own a rare painting. It might be worth $10,000, but if you need the money fast, it could take weeks or months to find a buyer. That painting is much less liquid. Liquidity is all about how quickly and easily you can turn an asset into cash without losing value. Stocks are usually very liquid because they're traded constantly, while real estate or collectibles are much less liquid. Leverage. Imagine you have $1,000, but you borrow another $9,000 from the bank. Now you can invest $10,000 instead of just $1,000. If your investment goes up 10%, you now make $1,000 instead of $100. But here's the catch. If it drops 10%, you lose your $1,000 and still owe the bank. Leverage is just using borrowed money to try and make bigger profits. Ponzi scheme. Imagine someone comes to you and says, "Give me $100 and I'll give you $150 back." Sounds great, right? You hand over your money. But the person who talked to you is doing the same thing to hundreds of other people, promising them big returns too. So you get back your $150, but it's not from real investments. It's just money from other people joining the scheme. At first, it looks like it works, but the second new people stop joining, the whole thing collapses, and almost everyone loses their money. Stagflation. Imagine you wake up and head to the grocery store. You grab the same bag of groceries you always buy, but the price is way higher than last month. That's inflation. Now imagine when you get home, you turn on the news and hear the economy is barely growing. Businesses are struggling, and worse, your friend just lost his job. That's unemployment. Put those together and you've got stagflation, rising prices, a weak economy, and people losing jobs, all at the same time. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our weekly videos. Thank you, and see you in the next one.